what's changed right now. In a different field, different lane right now. Now I'm in the mud, switching lanes right now. Passive income getting paid right now. Used to roll around with sinners, bulldozers and killers. Now we focused on figures, 3-course meals for dinners, 5-star suites and villas. Now the swag hit different. Cause the bag is different.
This can't come out.
I like soft life, so you're not stressing me, I don't need to stress you.
Yeah, facts. Sweet. Okay, cool.
And also, I know how these things go. I went on TikTok live yesterday. My show started 45 minutes late because of technical difficulties. So.
Oh, wow. Well, all those, you mean TikTok was just messing up? Wait, do they pay you for that type of shit now?
Yeah, but...
People gift you stuff, innit?
Well, I don't ask my followers for gifts because...
But they just do it anyway.
Yeah, but I don't ever bring up. Like, I just more so ask them to like the live. Like,
oh, okay, yeah, I see that.
I don't taking money with people who I might have more money than them.
No, fuck it, why not? That's how the world works, no? Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Need to, I mean, they do anyway. More so, like, on my... I don't know, TikTok's just been doing a lot lately. But they do. Like, my followers are really nice. Like, especially the people in my community. They're so, like, sweet and stuff. Like,
sweet. Well, anyway, we'll get into it. Let's put the mic on you. Sweet.
Yeah, I talk really loud, so...
Okay.
So, dim me down so I don't sound screechy if I am too loud.
I probably don't even know how to do that, so we're just going to have to take you how you are.
Okay, I'm going to speak. I'm going to put on my quiet voice.
Sweet. Okay, might as well just start. That guy, he might even come in. My friend might come in, but we'll just edit that part out. Sweet. So, hi, Beth.
Bex.
Bex? I thought it was Beth.
Bex. B-E-T-S.
So why are you Bex? So Bex is short for Bex.
Bex is short for Elizabeth.
Oh my God. Okay, cool. Beth. So what did I say just now? Beth.
I'm not
I said Beth. I said Beth. So Beth, surely Beth can be an abbreviation of Elizabeth as well, no?
Well, no. So basically I did it because when I met my husband, he's got 2 kids. So we were trying to figure out what to have them call me. And I didn't want them to call me auntie because that's weird and African and I'm not down for that.
Oh, facts.
So we were trying to think like what's like not too much, and we just thought like bits.
Okay. First and foremost, let me just give you the intro, innit? Okay. Now, welcome back. What do you want to be called then? Bex. Okay, Bex.
Yeah.
Bex. B-E-T-S.
I'm not sure what you just said.
Okay, cool. That one.
Bex.
Welcome to This Can't Come Out. Now, basically, just so you know, we like to have a beautiful, unfiltered conversations. Now, the issue with doing that is we say some things that we probably don't want the public to know about. So with that, I send it to you first and foremost. Anything you don't want inside there, we'll take it out in it.
Should I tell you what my mission is? To have no shh.
Trust me,
part of the conversation.
You're probably going to have one.
I'm going to try not to. That's my mission.
Okay, fingers crossed, isn't it? So you can relax because I'm going to send to you anyway. And I'm not trying. There's not going to be like no shock jock antics. Yeah. I send it to you. I'm in the business of relationships, isn't it? So I'll rather you just take out anything you don't want inside there. Now, how I usually like to start this out with is how do we know each other, innit?
We don't.
Sweet. Now, I actually got put onto you by Miriam. I love that. Yeah, M Kisses.
Miriam. She's so sweet. I love her.
Yeah, that's my girl. And she was just like, oh, this would be a great person for you to have on, isn't it?
Not her doing a silent plug. You know, she never told me that.
Is it? Oh.
Never has mentioned that.
Yeah, well, she just told me, this is a great person for you to have on. Okay, cool, sweet. And then I added you. And then I've been trying to get you on for a long time now, innit? How long?
Few. 6 months?
Yeah, maybe about 6 months, isn't it? And so obviously now finally we're at it now. And in preparation for this, I've actually been watching your content, isn't it? Personally, I like it. I like it a lot. I think we spoke earlier about your taste in music, and I feel as though...
Do we want to tell them what my content is?
Well, the content that I've seen, it seems... Okay, let me describe your content.
Okay.
I'll describe it, then you give me the actual description. It seems to be... Your target market seems to be women. You're talking to women, it seems. It appears that you're talking to women and you're basically giving them advice as to how to navigate this world of men.
Yeah.
And but the show that I've been watching was it Love Radio?
Romance Radio.
Romance Radio. Yeah. That one's about tunes as well, isn't it? Yeah. Just playing bangers as well. So that's the sort of content I feel you do. Now, what do you reckon? What was your mission statement? What do you do?
I would say I do dating and relationship content. It's interesting that you say that I direct my content to women because I don't necessarily think I do. And I think that's where I kind of fall into a little bit of a gap. So I think you have someone like Kevin Samuels who caters to men. And then
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to him. Then you have someone like Shira7 who caters to women.
Okay.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. I feel like I kind of fall in the middle, whereas I don't cater to men or to women. I just speak the truth about relationships. So some videos I post and women really relate to them and love them, and then the men are dragging me in the comments. Some videos I post and the men really relate to them and love them, and the women are dragging me in the comments. I think...
Women drag you?
Oh, look.
Give me an example of what post they would have dragged you on.
Women need to understand that sometimes to be in a successful relationship, you need to be ready to go 50-50. Oh, they snatch my wig off. They snatch me bold. Or things like when I say, don't sleep with men. I mean, the men drag me too, but they don't like that. When I say to them, basically, I make a lot of videos on, because a lot of women have an expectation of wanting a provider man, which I have no issue with. But when I say to them, you're not all going to get a provider man because there's not enough of them around. There's life and society, the socio-economic climate we live in doesn't allow for that. And also, the men who do have money, where do you see that they have morals that usually go along with that money? Like, usually the men who have money are cheaters, liars, they don't. No, but if you think about all the men that you know that have a certain amount of money, they don't have any rules because we live in a society that doesn't actually put that much rules on men. Men can sleep with who they want, when they want, go around, sleep with the whole coven, and then when they're ready to have a girlfriend, get a prize of a woman and build a life. A woman very rarely gets to do that. So we're living in an unequal society, and I think I very much try to let women know that message that unfortunately what you might want might not be available to you. And if you want the few that are available, you have to be very tactical to get it. And women don't want to hear that because they just prefer to live in the mindset of, well, we deserve. Whether you deserve it does not mean it's coming to you.
Yeah, facts.
So there are women who realize that they want it and they scheme and plan to get it. Scheme and plan is not the right word, but also yes, it is. And then they get it. So,
well, in fact, you had a quote the other day that I thought that was a sick quote. What was it again? You're not gonna, something along the lines of about how, basically the essence of what you were saying was, don't try and change a man, find him.
I feel like women do this thing where they meet men. Well, women don't realize, I think they don't bring to the front of their minds that they only need one man. So what women do is they meet men and the guy's been inconsistent or the guy is not really pursuing them and they try to make it work with him instead of realizing that this is not the guy for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the conversation is too spicy to come out.
What's the name of the gangsters in Tottenham?
Well, there's better. There's better different gangs.
Oh, thank you. I feel so much better now.
No, but you're a girl, man. They'll leave you alone, innit? Oh, they might rub you, innit? But you're calm. Your health is fine. Sweet, are you going to be doing that thing that you're going to be doing, yeah?
I think he came to rest,
Yeah, I think. Okay, sweet. Where were we?
Women trying to...
Yeah, change a man as opposed to find him.
And I think it's something I definitely did. Like, I was married before, so with my ex-husband, he came with a lot of his issues. And I think you very much get pushed the narrative of relationships are hard. You have to make relationships work. But nobody ever explains to you that relationships are hard because life is hard. But your relationship, in essence, should not be hard. You should meet someone, you like and respect them, they like and respect you, but then things can affect you like life, career, kids, everything. And then that is what has an effect on relationship, not the person that you're in a relationship with. So I really try to get women to understand that it's okay and even more beneficial for your cut-off game to be...
Do you know what? Because even in saying that, because I get into my friends all the time. In fact, I get into my friends all the time. Certain times they're in relationships or like they're starting off in relationships and then the issues that they're having early on in these relationships, it's like, bro, you don't have to do this, isn't it?
Like literally before you... But I think what it is a lot of women are also... Because women, we're told that unless you're in a relationship or unless you've had a man pick you, ultimately, you haven't succeeded in life. And nobody wants to fail, right? So women are so gung-ho.
Really? Is that the actual pressure that you don't feel?
I think that's definitely what the patriarchy puts out. I think women are getting to the point where we have enough freedom now and enough financial freedom and mental freedom to actually be like, that's dumb. But I think for a long time, it was like, if you get to the end of your life and you've never been married, you have failed at something. Instead of it being, okay, the men weren't of the quality that you wanted them to be at, so you decided not to engage in that activity.
But you think, as in like, that over there, because that stigma of a woman not finding a man and being lonely, like I understand what that sort of stigma is, but I also feel as though that would be the same for a guy as well.
No.
If you're a guy that hasn't got a wife...
You're a silver fox.
Yeah, that's if girls want you.
No, girls will want
you're only a silver fox if you're attractive.
No, you're not, because money outweighs beauty.
What if you're broke? A broke man. A broke man that's lonely and single.
I think that applies across all gender. Like, if you're a broke woman, unless you have beauty, if you're a broke woman, you're still kind of at... beauty kind of surpasses...
Yeah, facts, yeah.
That, but...
In fact, me and my friend, we had... was... Like, if you're a gorgeous girl, and I feel as though maybe it speaks volumes about men as well, if you're a gorgeous girl, you are not, unless you've got a drug problem, you are not sleeping on the streets, isn't it?
No, of course. But also, I think when people say that, they forget to talk about the long term, which is, you can always get men, but you can't keep them. So what happens is you're using your gorgeousness at a high turnover until that gorgeousness eventually expires, because age catches us all.
Yeah, facts.
So it makes more sense to be logical about how you catch a man. And yes, beauty will always get men to pay attention to you, but men in their own mind have their own agenda. And I think sometimes when I say this, women struggle, because ultimately men are living in a world where they're pretty much allowed to do, when it comes to relationships, what they want, when they want. So their mindset is always focused on, most men anyway, the next hit, the next box, the next woman whose portal he can access. So that's his agenda. As a woman,
portal, I heard you say that. You're got that. That's hilarious.
I mean, I don't want to get a strike. So I think for women, we are not wanting to be used for our bodies. So we're always looking to build meaningful connections. We're always looking to kind of get into long-term relationships. So immediately you are dealing with two people who have ultimate agendas. So that's why I say...
I feel like in the macro of it, of it, but this is my personal, obviously I haven't spoken to everybody, but I feel as though the majority of men are good intentioned, isn't it? And I feel like the majority of women are good intentioned. And then you get extremes on either end of men that are just out here. Some men that never got girls back in the day start to get money now. And now they're on a vengeance to
they
have sex with every single nice girl in the world that wronged me when they didn't want me back in the day. So you get those guys, but you also get the guys that, you know what, literally, as in that come from like a good family. Yeah. It's time for you to settle down, you know?
Are you a bad guy because you want to have sex, and that's something that society says you're allowed to have and allowed to do? I think we put men into this bad guy category so much for doing basically what not even thousands, hundreds of thousands of centuries has told them is right for them to do.
Yeah, but it depends on what your values are. If you're, like, for instance, like you said, because I know you preach this message as well, if you, 9 times out of 10, you have to be connected to a faith of some sort, isn't it? So if you're connected to a faith, if you're a Christian man, then you're just not allowed to sleep around regardless.
No, baby, no. Religious men can be the worst. Some of the worst men I've ever seen are religious men, because they then, in their quest to access a woman's box, utilize their religion. And women innocently think, oh, he's religious, oh, you know, his brain's on straight, he has these morals and principles that guide him. And then they date him or deal with him and realize he's just like any other man, which is why I always say to women, don't allow a man's faith or the faith he projects to stop you putting him through those rigorous steps that you would put any man through, because you don't know anyone's agenda. You have just met that man today. You don't know what he's been through in his life. So a lot of times women, we think we're therapists. We think, you know, by the time I just give him my love, you know, I'm going to save him. Baby, you don't know what that man's been through. And you are not qualified to undo the decades of that man has been through. So just take him for what you see him as and leave it there.
But I'm saying, for instance, if you're a Christian man, there's certain things that you shouldn't be doing, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if you shouldn't be doing it. If you're doing it. T.G. Jakes was at Diddy's party, allegedly. Like, what are you doing there? Yeah, so one could, as for instance, if you was to look at what he's doing, you can see what he's doing doesn't actually align with his actual faith. Yeah, but in order to see what a man's doing, you need to give it time. And that's where a lot of women go wrong. They rush into things with men, and you don't give yourself time to see what his agenda is and if his words match his actions and if he's showing up for you as someone who likes you. Because the reality is, I always say women have more power before a man accesses her portal, and men have more power on the other side.
That portal thing is hilarious. Yeah, continue. Yeah,
yeah. So you always have to operate. To me, I would always want to operate in the space where I have more power. especially because me and you have two different agendas. And it's not to say that men don't want relationships, but I don't think men ever go out seeking a lot of men, especially if you're a high value man, I hate that term. You don't really go out seeking a relationship. What often happens is you meet a woman who you're actually looking eye to her. You know, a lot of men are looking down at women, and women don't realize this as well. A lot of men think that women are dumb, they're not smart, they don't know what's going on. And also they do.
You think so?
Men think women are dumb.
As in what? Like the majority of men think women are dumb.
I think what it is
because bear in mind, like we've been in secondary school with these girls, and you know they split them up in sets and stuff, isn't it?
No, I don't
so that guy down there can't chat to my girl in top set and think that she's dumb.
No, I don't mean dumb as in educationally. I mean
maybe you're right there, yeah.
So I think someone said it one time, and I really agreed with it. Women are smarter than you think they are, but not as smart as they think they are. I think that sums up women perfectly.
Yeah, okay, I see what
But also, women are dumb in dating because they don't really get anyone, and this is part of the reason why I started my channel, they don't really have anyone telling them the cold, hard truth about men and men's agenda. Most of the time, either the father's not around, or even if your father is around, your father doesn't really sit you down and be like, look, this man's going to try to have sex with you. That's the main thing he wants from you. Don't listen to anything he says. Watch him, watch his behavior. No one tells him that. So then I'll say something and men will be like, isn't that common sense? Tell me the last girl that you told that that's your plan. That you said, hi, I just want to slam.
Well, not in those actual words, isn't it? No, because you have to be respectful with it, isn't it? I don't want nothing serious right now. I say that a lot of times.
I think women hear that, but they don't hear the right...
When I say it to women, what I feel as though they hear in response is, oh, he just wants to fuck me.
No.
That's what I feel when I deliver it. That's why it hurts saying it.
I think women are very logical. So I think when you say, I don't want anything serious right now, they're like, oh, okay, we'll spin the block in 2 months. So we'll keep doing this. And in 2 months, I'll ask you again.
That's not the vibe I begin.
I know, that's what I say. But women don't realize that. And that's why I try to say a lot of the phrasing that men use so women can understand what it actually means. Because when a lot of men say that, I try to. Yeah. When a lot of men say that, what they really mean is, oh no, I'm just on slamming things right now. So,
but sometimes it might not even be that though. Sometimes it might just be, you know what, I don't want you for that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So he's telling you,
I don't want you,
like, or I just want you, because it's not necessarily that he don't want you. A lot of men will keep you around because you know, good sex, you know, you're nice to be around, you're fun to be around, you know, you might cook good, you might bring him an atmosphere, but you might have done something that he just thinks, no, my girl would not do that. So a lot of women meet men and they have these good situations with men, but you slept with that man on the first night, so it's an immediate write-off. But he's not going to tell you that because you don't care. He knows he's not going to end up with you, but he wants to keep you around because why wouldn't he want to keep you around? It's literally like a job, I said this in a video, losing their best employee. He doesn't want to lose you because your productivity is through the roof. But you know, ultimately, it doesn't matter if you leave because you're still just an employee.
I feel you. But also, back to your point as well, as in girls not really sometimes not having people to tell them, like maybe a father figure around to tell them. Like certain times what I find is, like, because I've got a lot of female friends, isn't it? And I chat to them. Certain times I'll let them, I'll give them my opinion on situations. What I find with a lot of girls is, once a girl has made her mind, she doesn't care what nobody's told them. Oh, and she wants to just feel the fire themselves, isn't it?
This is why I tell men, don't worry about my channel, because women don't listen. don't worry about nothing I'm saying. Women do not listen at all. So you get, I would say, of all the women who watch my channel, maybe 5% listen and take it in. The other 95%, they might interact, they might think, but you could be talking about something that's happening to them right there. They'll watch the video, talk to you normal, and then they might talk to you about the situation. I'm thinking, like, you watch my videos. So did you not feel like the connection to your situation? And, you know, I have a lot of friends as well. And sometimes I think, like, when I'm talking about my video, I'm very like, oh, I hope they don't take it like I'm talking about this thing, because it applies to all women. But
it just so happens that they might have experienced something.
Yeah, no. And I have a lot of I have a lot of male friends, but I have a lot of female friends. So I really get like a spectrum of situations that happen in relationships. So I'm blessed enough to be able to see, okay, this happened with this guy, this happened with this guy, and so many of these situations. And I'm kind of like the go-to in my friendship group for like even some of my friends who we never speak about when they start my channel, they'll start voice me. I just want to get your opinion on this, and then run me through their whole story.
Was this before your channel happened?
No, I think we were friends, but maybe we weren't like close friends that would speak on the phone. But I I'm someone who I never used to because of kind of how I grew up and stuff, but I really like people. So I really like all different kinds of people. So I think in my life, I kind of just connect with people. And even if I've maybe met you once or twice, we can have a relationship that kind of spans a long time, years, because you're just a good person, I'm a good person, like thing. But maybe someone like that, so maybe she'll see that I do a channel and she'll be like, oh, I saw you did this channel. Quick thing, I'm speaking to this guy, and then she'll break down the whole thing, and then she'll be like, let me know what you think, and then I'll go back on a...
What, voice notes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you should release those one day. Ask them for permission, innit?
No.
Just beep out, I don't know, man, change the voice.
I've got to think about how to do it, because I think that's something I struggle with on my romance radio show. In that I give people the option to call in and run through their scenario. But I think because dating and relationships are so sensitive, sometimes that my comments might be flooded, but they don't necessarily want to join the live. So I've got to maybe try and figure out a way to get around that. That doesn't kind of replicate the format that other podcasts, because I'm not really a podcast, I'm a radio show, like as you mentioned. But I want to figure out, and I originally, my idea concept was a telephone line, but maybe I'll go back to that.
Maybe you should lie, because I'm certain some of these guys are lying about these dilemmas. You know, the dilemmas that come through.
Oh no, girls ain't lying. They're stressed.
Some of the things that people... Have you seen some of the things?
Girls are not lying.
I'm like, yo, why wouldn't you just tell your friend? Why did you tell a lonely for?
Oh, because you don't want to tell your friend. Not a lonely. Shout out lonely.
Yeah, facts, isn't it?
But I think what it is sometimes you've told your friend so many things about that guy
and
that your friend, patience, she's had it up to here, she don't want to hear nothing else. All you know, it's like, but why are you still talking to him? Like, she don't have any grace for your new drama, because you might have had 54 dramas with that same guy. She's like, cut this guy off. So I get why you want to go to a third. I definitely have had those where I know your friends, they've had enough of John Doe. They don't want to hear about this man again. So you can't.
Who do you go to? As in, because obviously being in this position, I guess it's certain time. Well, it can appear that obviously you know what you're talking about, and it seems like you're extremely logical because I've watched your videos, but also you are a girl as well, isn't it? So do you find yourself in some of these situations where it's like, what the fuck? How did I get in this?
So it's more so maybe like when I'm in my serious relationship or my marriage and my man's pissed me off, then I'll call my best friend and I'll be like, listen, this man is getting... And I just need someone to be like... So I'll call my, like, even my close female friend or my close guy friends. Like, I've got very close friends, and they will... It's so annoying, though, because they always, like, be like, Liz, okay, you shouldn't have said this. You could have done this. But I think on a more casual relationship, it's, oh, no, men are easy to me. Men are... It's funny. I always say, like, I could be on my J-Lo, like, I could be get married like 5-6 times.
J-Lo. Now, obviously, you mentioned that you were, what was it, previously married.
Yeah.
Why do you reckon that, what was the breakdown in that? Because I see you, like, 1-2 shots here and there on your, what was it, on your show.
Yeah.
Like, do you mind, like...
No. So, what it was, and this is a big reason why I did my channel, is because I entered into something that I...
Wait, hold on one second. So you started your channel because...
On the other side... No. So it's a lot of things. So I started my channel because I was very much a go-to for my friends for male advice. I started my channel because my husband really encouraged me to do it.
Shout out him, man.
Yeah. And my husband's very balanced, very level, like very much the person... He's very much an inspiration to me. He's very much someone I look up to.
Oh, that's a vibe.
But he's...
I'm clipping that part and I'll send it to you. You send it to...
Thanks. I need a new bag. But yeah. So that, and I just felt like I've always thought it's something I might want to do, but it would always feel so disingenuous to do it, not in a good space. Like,
fact.
I can do it now because, baby, I want my romantic life at least, walking on sunshine. Not to say he does not irk my soul sometimes, but what we have is what a marriage should be. Like, two best friends doing life together.
And plus, when you're on the internet, that's the first thing that they'll come for. Oh, but you're not married. Look at your life.
Do you know how many times men be like, oh, you could say this if you had a man, then I'll just be like, I'm married, smiley face. They'll be like, but still, anyway, it's like...
Yeah, that ring will shut people up, innit?
But men will always do that. Men will always try to single shame and slut shame. So I definitely was not about to go and talk about anything to do with relationships, unless, more for myself, but also a little side benefit, that unless I was married, because it's like I wouldn't take driving lessons from someone who couldn't drive. And no disrespect to other dating and relationship content creators, but I don't think you should be giving dating and relationship advice.
If your life is in tatters.
Not even if your life is in tatters. If you're not in a successful relationship that has culminated in where you want to go. So if you want to be married, I do not think you should be giving dating and relationship advice until you're married, because you have to be able to show and prove that your advice works for you.
Does that put pressure on you though?
To do what?
As in, for this marriage to work?
This marriage is going to work anyway, because that's the love of my life. It's not...
Yeah, but you know, people get, as in when people say their vows, they say that to each other and it looks all good. I'm not, by the way, innit, I wish you a long marriage.
No, of course, yeah.
But I'm just saying, does that not add pressure to you? Because I feel like one of the beautiful things, no, it's not beautiful, but one of the things that can keep people's sanity, especially for women, I reckon, is the ability to leave, isn't it? As in, to make somebody not be comfortable, innit?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you've got that dare of, I will touch out if you fuck up, I'll touch out. Then that will keep somebody on the straight and narrow, innit?
No, I don't have that fear because I wouldn't do this unless I felt, I've been married before. I didn't do this when I was married before because that marriage did not make no sense. So what am I going on the internet to talk about?
What do you mean no sense though? Why? Oh, sorry. Maybe I even stopped you. Why didn't it?
So my last relationship, it was definitely something I got into because of like religious and cultural pressure. So, and also a bit of social. I feel like I was coming up to, you know, my 30s. I met this guy and on paper, my ex is a prize. Like property owner, tall, handsome, to me anyway. But yeah, I think he was generally handsome. Like, you know, he didn't necessarily have the best career when I met him, but took him to my dad. And my dad's the kind of person who whip anyone into shape. So my dad was like, 3 times his salary immediately. Like, smart. So he, like, one thing about me and my ex-husband, one thing that was never a problem for us was money. Money day. Enjoy, like, there was never, but what it was that he, and this is why I say you can't try to make somebody love you or see you as a prize, because he was very, can I say demented?
Go on then.
Like, he just had his own issues and he was also abusive, like, physically, financially.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, he was very abusive. So...
Well, before or after the marriage, you know?
Oh, so it was so mad the way he did it. So just before our wedding day,
Mental.
I remember my best friend calling me, like, was it a week or a couple of days? I think it was like a couple of days. She was like, you know you don't have to do this. You know, we could just go somewhere. I'll sort it all out. You don't have to think anything. Both of them, my female best friend.
So invite sent out and shit?
The wedding was like, let's say it's Tuesday, the wedding was on Saturday. Like one of those that close. So she was like, you don't have to do this. And my male best friend said the same. He was like, you know, you don't have to do this. Like we can, but I just couldn't not do it. Like I was so...
I get you. Like, maybe you should have got married and then divorced the day afterwards. Because
it was too, like, so much was going, and our relationship, one thing, and this is why I say slow down, because I have a video about this, manipulators love speed. I met, we moved in, bang, a year we lived together. Bang, another 6 months we were engaged. Bang, like everything was just, we bought a house. We moved house like 3 times, like so much was happening. So it was so hard to like find your feet, but it wasn't even a long marriage. Like from the marriage to the day I left the house was a year and 6 months. It was like some change. And it was like 2 domestic violence incidents. I mean, there was loads of like abusive incidents throughout the time, but actually physical, like hardcore, it was 1. And then when that first big, I mean, there were little ones, but when that first big...
What's a little one? What was that?
Like he'll push me down, or... I remember one time, I'm laughing, I shouldn't even laugh. But like, we have an argument, and then we were tussling, because he wanted to take the duvet. I was like, get another one for the couple.
Oh, with the duvet? Fuck off, man.
Listen, we're tussling, and then I like thing, and then I was like, this nigga just kicked me.
No, the kick, wait, come on, that one's like then, isn't it? Was it an actual kick? Baby, I'm trying to hurt you kick, or come on, man, give me the cover.
But because of the way it was, I didn't know if it was intentional. I was like, this nigga just kicked me. Like, I'm laughing, it's not funny. But I was just so it was like little things like that. Like one time he attacked me, like one of my friends today. He didn't actually hit me, but he like roughed me up. You know when someone's pushing you into stuff, so things are moving. So like the furniture's all moving. And my friend's like, what's going on? But it wasn't actually like a kind of thing. So...
And in front of your mates as well?
It was his friend, in fact. It was his female best friend.
Wow, boy.
I got her in a divorce, so they don't speak. She's my friend now, but yeah.
Wow.
But like, so little things like that up until the wedding where it's enough. But then also, and this is why I don't believe in hitting children, because I grew up with my dad and I love my dad, I respect my dad, but he was very, very physically abusive.
Is it?
Very, very.
What, to who?
To me.
To you?
Well, I was quote unquote naughty.
What were you doing? Let's be honest.
Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I was mischievous. Like, I wasn't actually naughty. I was mischievous. So, and we grew up very poor because when I was young, my dad used to be a pilot.
I don't know why it's not.
I mean, we all grew up poor, to be fair. That's the truth.
Yeah.
My dad used to be a pilot, but my mum wanted him to be more at home with us because obviously there's 4 of us. She is overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So he came, but he had to change his whole career. And shout out to him, he studied everything, like changed. My dad was on the team that created the Oyster card. Like he did his thing. Like, but there was a while where, you know, we were extra poor because my mom was really the only one. I mean, my dad was working, but it was like night shift cleaning or something just to help out and contribute. But I remember just being very poor.
Did you feel poor as well?
I was poor.
But did you feel it?
I used to get £5 pocket money a week.
A week? Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
And then I had to pay for the bus. This was before bus was free. So it was 80%. I had £1 left at the end of the week. I used to get free. So I used to steal because like...
Wow.
So, and I remember, and when I look back on it, I'm not going to lie. My next venture has to do with something with caring for children in this country because I remember coming across so many adults and my safeguarding was completely ignored. I remember one time I left my house because my dad was beating me, went to the phone box, called the police, and was like, my dad's beating me. Like, I'm really scared, I don't know what to do. They picked me up, took me back home, and went. I mean, one time at school, I stole a drink, and like my teacher was like, we're going to have to write you up. And I was sobbing. I was like, they're going to beat me. Like, She was like, what? There's nothing I can do. What? PE teacher, bitch. Nothing I could do. I was like in hysterics. She wrote a letter to my parents anyway. Never followed. And I can think of so many examples of that where I'm in contact with adults physically breaking down, being like, this is going to happen to me. And they were like, whoop, like kind of thing. So I know if a child goes into social services, that child is on death's door. Like they do not care unless, and the amount of abuse that child has got through until they're picked up by the system actually terrifies me because I know what I was going through. And one thing about me when I was young, I was like, I'm like, if you know me, I'm the most defiant. You can't tell me nothing. I'm not a fool. Like I like new knowledge and I'll look for new knowledge. But if I believe what I'm saying is right, I'm saying you 10 toes down, look in your face. So there's loads of times where my dad would be hitting me, like slapping me clean across the face because he would tell me to say something. I'd be like, no, that's not true. And like clean. But I would stand on what I was saying. Little 8-year-old me, like, no.
Wait, so do you think it's because you experienced that you were inside your relationship?
Yeah, 100%. It wasn't as bad. It didn't ever appear to me as bad as it seemed. But also, even unfortunately, like I remember when I told my mum and dad and that, and when I was leaving, sorry, no one really cared that much. Like, it was almost like, I remember like, so the last incident that happened where I actually left, there was actually a knife involved. Thankfully, I didn't get stabbed, but his mum was there was a knife involved. His mum ended up having to kick it under the fridge, like it was a whole palaver. But I remember like 2 weeks after that, because I had to get a restraining order to get him out of the house, because I would always have to be the one to leave. I was like, no, I'm not leaving this time, like, F you. So then my dad was like, oh, isn't it time to let him come back home now? And I remember having to blast my dad because what are you talking about? Like,
this guy put I
remember going on holiday and because we shared the house, I was like to him, because I'm also not a bitch. Like, I don't care that much. I just don't want to be.
Well, were you separated and living together?
Yeah, no, we weren't living together. Oh, okay. So he wasn't allowed in the house. But I was like, look, I'm going on holiday because I'm a holiday queen. Like, fly me out. But you can stay in the house, but just don't stay in.
Why did you tell him that?
Because it's his house, as well.
Fair it is.
And I remember coming back from the house and my sister telling me that my mum and dad had him over, but they didn't tell me, and they've never told me till this day, and opening the fridge and seeing like all like my birthday cake's right next to Christian, and they cut him like a big slice and sent him loads of food. I thought, you lot are ops. Like, how are you gonna care for this man? And I remember like saying to my mum and dad, like, oh, because we ended up falling out over this. Like, and I remember saying like, oh, like to my mum, like, stop talking to him. Like, there's nothing. And she was like, I can't. That's my son.
You know what? Yeah, I see. You see what they're doing here. Yeah. They're like being well intentioned, but for the wrong person. Isn't it?
Oh no, I completely don't get it twisted. I get where they're coming from, and I get it's more of a cultural brainwash. Because what I had aunties and uncles calling me. One of my uncles texted me, it was like literally verbatim. It's textbook. I spoke to him, he only beats you because he loves you.
Wow.
Like, one of my aunties calling me, sent me a voice note because I wasn't answering none of their calls. Being like, I never asked you for anything. Just do me this one favor. Just do me one favor and stay with him.
That one favour's a huge favour, boy.
I ain't got that favour for you, baby. Ask me for some money, I could do that. Don't ask me to stay with an abusive man kind of thing. So it was very much like that was the narrative. So that's even a lot of the reason why I married him, because there was because I'd been naughty when I was a kid, I was very estranged from my parents throughout my life. And when I came home, and I was the first person to bring a man home, it was the first man I ever brought home.
Are you the eldest?
This is... When I think about it, so many things are going on in my life at once. So I have an older sister. I don't talk to her. Me and her don't talk. She's just always hating me. I mean, I did some little things to her when I was younger, so I'm not going to take it. Like, she'll have her own truth. But
I'll bring her on next.
She's never... Listen. We've never really spoken, and she's actually got a different dad. And I remember she took my little brother and sister out, because there's 4 of us, and told them that she has a different dad. And my little sister, or brother, one of them had to tell me. So in my lifetime of almost being 40 years old, no one has ever said to me, your sister has a different dad. Like, it was just very... Like I always say, even though we're a family of 6, I feel like they're family of 5 and then it's me. That kind of thing. So that's why I love...
Hold up. But she's got a different dad to you, but the rest of your siblings, they have the same mum and dad as you?
They're younger than me, yeah.
Oh, okay, but they've got the same... Okay.
Yeah. So we're all... So basically my dad is basically her dad, even though... So we've all grown up in the same house, and it's very much like even my dad would be like, why can't you be more like your sister? Like, you wouldn't ever look at our family and know she's got a different dad. Like, my whole family is very blended. We don't really do this different thing. Family's family. So if you're in our family, you're in our family. And I think they probably have quite a good relationship in different ways with my parents, like, because my parents are good people. And I definitely feel like they did their best to raise me in terms with what they knew. I just have come to the unfortunate conclusion that for me, their best wasn't good enough. And I feel sad for them to say that, because I really can look back and see 2 people who toiled, like who worked so hard to bring like finances, to grow us financially, to make sure that we were in a better financial position, but not necessarily had any care for like emotional health. Like, so I was depressed as a child. Like, I love when people talk about going back to childhood. I find it so funny, because that's the worst time of my life I'd ever want to go back to. When I speaking to my friend,
what age group? Oh, you done that? Okay.
Any time I can remember till when I moved out of my house when I was 15 or 16. Like,
you moved out at 15, 16?
Baby, I was depressed.
Lord.
It was hell up in there.
What the fuck are you doing at 15, 16?
I got well. First, I used to stay at different people's house at first. Then eventually, I ended up getting a hostel. Then I went to uni, and then obviously it played out like that. But yeah, like I was a runaway from early. Like I couldn't stay there. Like for my mental health, like for my physical health as well. And not to say like I was naughty. Like I used to steal, I used to do things, but
what? Like when you say steal, you say it like it was kind of like career stealing.
I could steal. Like I remember one time, and this is so bad, because my older sister...
Make sure the cameras are here but by the time you leave, innit?
All of this allegedly, in case you want to come for me, police. No, but I remember one time, because my older sister didn't used to like me at all. So I really wanted her to like me. So I used to always, from a young age, and then as I got older, I stopped it at a certain age, because I was like,
fuck this, yeah.
Yeah, but I used to always want to like buy her things, to like maybe buy her love, because I couldn't really connect with her anyway. And I remember stealing her bank card.
To buy her something?
Taking out £100, going to Global Sports. It's so dumb when I think about it. Buying her a pair of dunks from Global Sports. Do you remember Global Sports in Shepherd's Bush?
No, I don't remember.
What? Oh, you're from North. Global Sports in Shepherd's Bush, like... if you like train, and I was a tomboy. If you're a trainer person, yeah, that was the shop. But yeah, buying her a pair of dunks. But obviously, then she saw her bank statement. She saw I took money out. Like she was like, so it was dumb anyway. But I remember just doing stuff like that. Like so, I definitely used to, and so justifiably, I got in trouble for those kind of things. But a lot of it just came from a lack of anyone. Like I used to get bullied in school. Like bullied, like I'd go in the toilet cubicle and eat my food in there. Like
bro,
yeah. Like eat by myself in the toilet. I had no friends. Like they used to laugh at me because obviously I was poor as well. So and I remember,
hell, man, you've been through it.
There wasn't really any protection because remember I told you about the teachers in school. They don't care. I remember coming home and telling my mum I got bullied. She didn't say anything, didn't do anything. And I remember one time my mum was messaging, she was like, yeah, that's why they call you a tramp at school.
Who said that?
My mum. So when I look back on it in my adult life, I'm like, so I'll tell you I got bullied, that I cry. Like, I used to cry every day at school because I used to get bullied. Then I used to come home and cry because I used to get bullied at home. But I was like, I'm telling you something, she didn't report it to a teacher. She didn't do anything about it. But when it was time to be like, oh, this is why this happens, then it used to cause problems. And then also it used to cause problems because then I used to get accused of things I didn't do. So
that's the worst word.
They made me, this time pissed me off. For some reason, they made me do a sleepover at one girl from my school's house. Shout out Sharon. And I didn't want to go, but because she used to bully me at school. So I didn't want to go.
They made you go to your bully's sleepover.
So I think my mum and her friend and her mum were friends. So they made me go over. Ended up going over there. It was all right. Had an all right time, actually. Went to watch Bring It On in the cinema. Like, it was kind of fun. I remember when I got home, they were like, oh, £20 is missing. And then they were like, oh, my dad was like, you stole the money. I was like, no, I didn't. And I actually didn't. I was like, no, I didn't. Like, kind of thing. They were like, you did. So my dad took me there to basically confess that I stole the money. I didn't steal the money. So when he was like, oh, I told him he stole the money, I was like, I didn't. He literally slapped me so hard, like bells were ringing. So like, there were lots of like humiliation things like that. Like,
wait, and you didn't steal the money?
I did not take them. Like,
was this before or after you were a thief?
No, I've been a thief.
Oh, so sorry, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, I understand. No, I don't understand why he hit you, but I'm just saying, I get why he blames you, innit?
I understand, but then at the same time, it used to annoy me because he used to do things like, oh, the Bible, and this is what kind of took me away from
religion.
Not even religion, because I always have my own faith with God, but from respecting him as a person. Because he'd be like, the Bible will tell me if you're telling the truth. The Bible say you're lying. Baby, the line you have to God is not working because I didn't do this one. You know when you know, I didn't do it. So, but he will be so adamant, and it's like, but he used the Bible to back up his thing. So then I just used to look at him like, I kind of lost respect for him. And I used to be such a dad's girl. I used to really love my dad. And I still really love my dad, but it just became harder and harder as I grew up and decided what I thought like a man should be or a father should be, to have that respect for him. And I think they say that daughters are the people who don't fall under the patriarchy. Like, you can't, like, men can meet women and submit them and use all these logic on them. You can't really do that to your daughter because that's not how your relationship is. She's a child, you're a father. So they judge you based on your success as a father. And you can't really use all of these cultural, you're supposed to submit to a man thing, because you're going to tell me the Bible says honor your mother and father. I'm going to tell you right back, the Bible says also do not provoke your kids. You're provoking me.
Say
the whole thing kind of thing. So, but I was like that when I was younger. So I would say those kind of things because you're not about to play in my face. So I think what is about me and my dad is we really have a standoff. Like, I'm the only person that will look him in his eye and be like, no.
Well, do you have a closer relationship with your dad than your mum?
I don't really speak to them anymore.
When was the last time you spoke to them?
I mean, we're low contact. We're not no contact. So like if I need to, like the other day, I end up having to go to the hospital for something. I'll call my mum to tell her. Like, and my mum will always do that. I'll say hi to your dad or speak to your dad kind of thing. So it's not like I don't speak to them full stop. I just don't seek them out in my life. But also we're a big family. So there's a lot of family functions. So like it'll be someone's birthday. My brother got married the other year, like my grandma's 90th birthday. So we come together a lot. So, but I have a very big family, and my aunties and uncles, I always try to come because I love my whole family, but my aunties and uncles, they're 10 toes down for me.
How happy are you with your relationship with your parents? As in, are you at the level, do you think this is the level that mentally you can maintain?
100%. Like, I think I struggled for a long time with wanting them to be better parents to me. And then I think I just had to accept, like, this is for however they've been raised and, whatever they know, this is what they can manage. And I don't want to keep telling someone that they're not doing a good job. I don't think that's fair. I think at some point you have to, and their other kids are fine. So, it might be just me. I think my other siblings will have a different story. Yeah. I mean, but I think also maybe I'm just a bold one to be like, ain't really feeling it. Because there has been things I've seen like with some of my other siblings where I'm like, but they are good parents. They're very like, they try really hard. They work really hard. It's just the type of people they are doesn't mesh with the type of person I am. And
I heard you say in one of your videos as well that basically that obviously it was only a couple of videos I watched, but
now
you don't want your own children.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want your own biological kids. Well, you're not fond of having your own.
I'm not having any biological kids.
Do you reckon that's linked to the fact that you haven't got a great relationship with your parents?
No, because I have bonus babies too. Yeah, and they are like my
bonus babies.
They're my,
How old are they?
They are 10, about to be 11 and 8.
Okay.
They're just like, that's A1 day one. They're my aces. So I like why I don't want to have biological kids is that's not soft life. I'm a soft life babe. Like, I don't want school. So I have to do school run like 2 times a week. That is hell. Like, why am I waking up at this time in the morning? Like, no, I don't like it. Like, to be honest, I don't want to, as much as I love having them around, they're around now, it's half term, emptying the clip on my pockets, by the way. But I also like it when they go back home. That's the truth. I don't want to deceive anybody. I like it when they're there, but then I also like it. And I like that 50-50. So sometimes when I see people like co-parenting and complain about it, I'm like, baby, live your life while you've got your own. It's hard to be a parent full-time. Like, full-time mom, like, I can kneel down at the feet of full-time mothers. That's why I can never judge my parents too harshly, because you did something that if I was to do, I'll probably fail as well. My kid will probably not that I don't like them, but my kid will probably have a lot to say about me as well. So I can't sit here in a position of authority and be like, oh, you failed. I'm not even going to try to do what you do because I know I'm not cut out for it. And I give you all the round of applause for doing, upon whatever I want to say about my parents emotionally, they did exactly like, I have never been arrested. I got a good job.
Surprisingly, as you were a thief.
Yeah, because the reality is, I think African parents talk so much about train your child in the way you go and everything, but they don't really believe it. Because you planted all these seeds in me. Like, I wasn't bad because I was bad. I was bad because I was poor. I was bullied. My home life was... these are all the things that contributed. And that's not to say...
Facts,
I know my mum and dad thought when I was going to go out, I was going to get pregnant. I went to college. I took myself to college. I went to uni. I've done everything off my own steam. There's not one thing that any of your other kids have done that I haven't done. There's not one thing that you can say, oh, this kid did this, and probably done it before them. That's the truth. Apart from my little brother, who's like, I love that boy so much. Like, he very much reminds me of my husband. Like, they're two people that they're like sunshine. Like, everybody likes them. They never have no trauma. They're just so nice to be around. Like,
How old is your little brother?
I always say my baby brother, and then he's in his 30s.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
He's grown. He married. He got a wife, everything. He married.
But wait, out of your siblings, are you the only one considered like a problem child?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Now, you mentioned something over there, which I think is a bar, which was, manipulators, love, speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, some of the things that I find interesting is, as you know, certain times guys are taught not even to listen to what girls say, isn't it? Because
they be watching the clock, like, how long till I can leave?
Because... someone's speed, one person they'll be called, oh, this guy is intentional. That's what they'll call that. Oh, he's being intentional because he's moving. Oh, he knows what he wants. So he wants to move in with me. He wants to get married. Whereas that can also be a manipulator. So how do you differentiate between the two?
Well, the first things first, I will always be suspicious of a guy who wants to move really fast into my... Because why do you need to do it today when you can do it in 6 months? And also see what kind of girl she is. Like...
I be telling people this.
Most men aren't running. Sorry, darling, go on.
No, but I'm saying I be telling people this as well, and it's like, you can know somebody in 6 weeks. Like,
you can't. Where's the camera? You can't. No, there's nobody that you can know that well. If you know them in 6 weeks, they will remain the same. If that's who they are, 6 months later, they will still be that person. Women as well need to stop skipping out that step of the process. It's very important to us because we are men. The dating game is rigged for men. I'm going to be very real with you.
Well, rigged in favour for us?
100%.
What part you reckon? By the way, I have no opinion on this yet, but I'm...
Men can wake up, meet any girl they like, sleep with her that night, do the same thing again 55 times, then say, okay, ready to get married. Pick from a lineup of the nicest, most head screwed on, successful women. Get married, go live happily ever after. She'll be loyal, everything. Women, try sleep with someone and sleep with someone that guy knows and find out. Like,
but let me give you some pushback in that.
Yeah.
Have you, as a guy, you meet a girl, you're smitten over this girl. She finds out you've slept with her friend. Not even slept with, spoke to. You said, well, go on to fucking DLT or something. All of a sudden, the girl's pissed off now. So it happens to men as well.
You might be smitten over her, she won't smitten over you.
No, I'm saying I'm smitten over her. But literally, we're speaking to one another. She finds out, I spoke to her friend. All of a sudden...
Yeah, but I'm going to say the same thing I say to women, I say to you. That girl just don't like you that much.
Yeah, facts, but I'm trying...
No, but that's what I'm saying. So this is only in a situation where if a man really likes a girl and the girl really likes that man back, the situation I've given still stands. Your situation doesn't still stand if that girl really likes you.
If I really liked a girl, so if I really liked a girl, and then my boy tells me that he spoke to her previously, would I still pursue it?
Of course you wouldn't, most times. If your boy slept with her, you're not going to pursue it with that girl. Whereas a girl can meet a man because of the way the dating scene is set up, and if he's a good man and is a high-value man, and her friend slept with him, more than likely, she's not going to cut that man off. She's just going to be like, oh.
Yeah, but who's rigging the game then?
The patriarchy, it's been rigged.
But I'm saying, okay, but I know the patriarchy, but who is doing it then? Who's programming women to accept it and men not to?
It's not, the patriarchy sets it up that let's say this is the balance, having sex on the first night. Men, tick, it's a go. Women, down, she's a slut. That's the automatic.
Not really though. But I'm saying in terms of my relationship, my most serious relationship I had, I slept with the girl first night. As in, it depends on certain times if you're passionate with somebody.
What did it say?
Oh yeah. Amazing quote as well, isn't it?
Say?
What is it? You read it out again. My eyes are fucked.
Always an exception.
Just assume it's not you.
For best results, assume it's not you. And this is why so many women go wrong. They operate in this dating game as if they're exception. Exception is like 5%. So you might, by the grace of God, be the exception. However, if you're operating like you're the exception and you're in a 95%, you're doomed. So you always, for your own best interest and doing your due diligence, need to act and treat men as though you are not the exception. And then you will end up where you want to go to. Whereas a lot of girls do it the other way around. They act as though they're the exception and then they get a hold card reality check when they realize you is not. And a lot of times what helps you be an exception is looks and position. Like I think a lot of times women get looks. You can be really beautiful, but if you're not in the same rooms as certain men, you're not going to get that grace. That's why I say get your money up, get your mind up, like work on yourself, work on your physicality. Looks are so important in dating game. It stresses me out when I hear people talking about.
Obvious, though,
no. Women say, "Oh, the man who wants me will love me for me." No, baby, he won't. He will love Natasha for her and her like. I'm not saying you have to be like the societal beauty standard, but work on being the best version of yourself. Men have so much grace when it comes to looks because as long as a man's got money, he can look however he wants to look because money trumps looks when it comes to women and men. Money does not trump looks when it comes to men and women.
Yeah, facts, 100%.
Unless that man's a bird, and there are some birds out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do you reckon is what you see in regards to the patriarchy?
Yeah.
How did obviously I don't know how the patriarchy is created, isn't it? How did that happen then, innit?
Religion is very misogynistic. Like I feel like religion places men as the superior species, and that's why men have a lot of this mindset of women should submit. And that
I didn't watch that episode. That's the third one, isn't it?
Yeah. The idea of women submitting really irks my soul, and the idea that men expect submission. A relationship is supposed to be a partnership. And there isn't supposed to be a boss in a relationship. There's supposed to be different bosses in different areas. So to expect a man to lead you and to follow a man's footsteps, but that man is terrible with money, maybe that man is leading you to ruin. Like if the woman is better with money, I'm sorry, the man has to submit to her in that area because she is that's not to say he must bow down to her, but her word has to stand stronger. If the man is better when it comes to making decisions for the children, she has to submit to her man in that area because we are two parts of the same machine. So we're supposed to be trying to get the best version of this life. But men focus so much on this idea of they need to be more important because that's really what submission is. I'm more important than you, so you have to listen to me. Whereas it doesn't take into account that women are fully formed people with a brain who are able in much less time than men, might I add, because women have only really been able to enter into this workforce in the last 100 years to really make massive strides.
Yeah, they're doing better. They're doing even better than
women are
currently
having the most successful jobs while looking after children full time, while being the lead domestic carer. So I think it's such an oversimplification to say.
But how true is that though? Because obviously a lot of the marriages, I feel as though a lot of people are looking at like historical marriages. think about in like your life now. Most of the marriages that I could draw upon of people I know, they don't look like they looked back in the day whatsoever. So in terms of now, what's it called? A nursery is a huge thing. So daycare, it's not as though there's a woman at home looking after children. She's also working now, isn't it?
Yeah, but
she makes a good salary.
That's why submission doesn't exist, because you're both paying for that. When she gets home, she's probably doing the majority of looking after the kids. She's probably doing the majority of the domestics. That's true. Not to say that some men don't contribute. I'm in a marriage with someone who's very like tries to help and does what he does. Ultimately, I still do more because I feel like maybe. I don't want to say as a woman, but maybe it is because we're trained like that. So women are usually trained by their mothers to be, whereas men don't really have that training. So we're probably a bit more adept at it. A woman will always end up, especially in this day and age, carrying just more of the burden than the man. Because the finances are usually more split, but then the domestic usually are more on her. So to say to that woman, and also you're just talking about marriages.
Yeah, but would you have that personally? Because I feel as though most men now, as in I can only speak for myself and the guys that I know, you go outside of the house is dirty. You're not waiting for your wife to come and clean it. You like your space clean.
And scrub the bath.
Well, absolutely. Well, scrub the bath is not my vibe, innit? I'll sweep the floor.
You've just said it.
But I'm saying the bath though. Maybe because I'm able to tolerate more dirt than she maybe is.
But you've just said it. The reality is, do you think she's going to do that when she comes home as well and then still go and scrub the bath?
Yeah, but I think we'll do good. I'm kind of used to having it cleaner now, innit?
First of all, you have to be financially in a certain position.
No, not really. As it was, £40 every 2 weeks.
I think you are speaking from a place of not realising that you're probably more financial free than a lot of people.
Perhaps, isn't it?
It's not, especially if you've got kids and things like that. Like kids cost a lot of money as well. That's one thing I've realised.
Yeah, apparently I haven't got any children, but I'm hearing nursery fees are kind of like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You need to get another job to just cover nursery fees.
Yeah. So it's not that men don't do stuff. I think good men will always do stuff. I just think the majority of the domestic burden will always fall to the woman. In most cases, not always.
And even I took culinary lessons as well, so I know how to cook. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to be a better cook than any woman that I'm with anyway.
I mean, and I think, some women are blessed enough to have this situation, but I think this is another exception to the rule.
So basically what you're saying is I'm great.
Basically.
Now, obviously, give me some scenarios of backlash that you've received from your content. Do men hate you based on what you say?
I'll tell you what it is, and this is why I actually started Romance Radio. I think when I put out a video, I have a 10-minute limit, so I'm hitting the points I can hit in that time limit. So men really come to me very aggressively sometimes because they disagree so much. But when we're able to have some kind of discourse about what I've said and what I did, because as much as I'm team women because I see how much at a disadvantage in this dating scene women have. I don't dislike men. Some of my favorite people in this world are men. Like,
you're married.
The first people who were nice to me. So I also was really ugly when I was younger. So that's another reason I got bullied. When I went to school.
No, you can't have been ugly. I've seen you with no makeup on already, innit? Like you're a good looking person.
Thanks. But so when I told you my dad was studying while I was like, so my dad was in charge of domestics, and this is what I say about men. So because my dad didn't want to do our hair, he shaved all my hair off. So I was going to school.
Lord, yo, you need a movie because this life.
I suffered, I tell you. So yeah, I went to school, an all-girls school at that, with no hair. So that in itself. Terry, are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing, bro. I feel sorry for you, innit?
No. Listen, God has blessed me beyond measure.
Yeah, amen, man. Yeah.
But like, when you so I went through that. So men kind of ignored me then because I wasn't cute. Women were mean to me. So when I started getting into college, and I remember the first time they were like, "Oh, my boy likes you." Wait, you like? I mean, oh, I don't like him, but thank you. Like, yeah. Like, but it was like, and then men were very nice, and I think because I'm someone who's just very blunt. I say it how I say it. Thing. I think that's how a lot of men are. So I'm really able to conversate with men and men are able to tell me stuff and I don't get emotional about it or stuff. We have a lot. So I'm able to really talk with my male friends and really like they'll say some things. So that's also why I know so much about men, because they also speak very freely in front of me and like.
Oh, they'll speak to you, and if you're willing to listen, they'll tell you.
Oh yeah, look, one of my close friends, he'll tell all his other female friends that he talks to. He's like, "This is why Liz has got a husband. She listens." like it's his narrative. So yeah, like definitely like men have really taught me a lot in this life, and I really like men. I don't know how much I agree with some of their narratives, but as people, I really like men. I like being around them. I like socializing with them in a very platonic way. And yeah, so I don't ever have anything against men. I always want my friends to be in nice relationships and to be happy and stuff. But I also want them to understand their privilege as men. That's the truth.
Yeah, facts. I think I even spoke to funny enough, she follows your page as well, isn't it? So she must watch your content about like, certain times, obviously, I probably don't know the privilege I receive as a man. Yep. But I'm just saying, in terms of in the middle, the current position I am at work, and maybe the sort of company that I'm in as well, I can see the women are absolutely thriving there, isn't it?
Flying.
Like, for instance, I feel like the modern man, you have to make money outside of work to even be competitive.
Women legally eating up the game. Men have an advantage because they're probably a bit more fearless, able to go more outside of work and make their own business and be more entrepreneurial. I mean, women are entrepreneurs as well, but men are a bit more, they can get that.
Yeah, they're fuck it. They'll put all their life savings into one project.
What? They'll put their life into the risk. Men will do street things.
Because you can't get no girls if you don't.
Facts.
And, but what I would say is, obviously, women are doing sick when it comes to that middle upper. Yeah. But when it gets to the top,
ceiling.
That is
glass ceiling.
And obviously, there could be many reasons for it. Maybe she wants a family, or the people that play up there are just very, very nasty individuals, isn't it? That would do anything to. But so obviously, they are not reaching the top. But in the place where they're allowed to be, they're thriving there completely in it.
Completely agree.
Now, what was it? I think you mentioned, but back to what we were saying about men commenting on you. And I feel like, because when I listen to your content, I can see why certain guy, as in there's buzzwords in there that can just trigger a guy that just wants to be triggered, isn't it? But I feel as though on the internet, there's a profile of an individual. If you're a guy that's even commenting on a post first, that means you're a certain type of guy already.
Oh no, the women be dragging them. They're like, why are you in a woman's comment? I'm like, this for everybody.
100%. So if you're commenting as a guy, it means it's probably going to skew it more likely to be negative towards you. So when most guys hear your content, there might be a lot of guys that actually agree with what you're saying, but they will just never type it because that's just not their vibe.
And they would never, also, I get why men have to be seen. Well, two things. One, I always say two things can be true at the same time. So just because I'm saying one truth, it doesn't mean that I can't see another truth in that situation. And I think men hear the message, but don't know that. I can also understand where you're coming from as relate. But right now I'm doing a video for the women. So I'm having, you're the subject, unfortunately. And if I do a video for the men, then a woman's the subject. So that's kind of the first thing. But also, wait, I just lost my train of thought. What were you saying? I feel like I just took an edible.
Doesn't really matter. But wait, how did you build up your following anyway?
I don't know. That's the truth. So I kind of started probably about this time last year. And then I do know actually. Yeah. I started and I was just putting out content and then people were just, and you've seen my content. So I don't brush my hair. I do my makeup because I'm not trying to do the queen influencer. I'm just trying to give you knowledge that I have that, I don't have a big sister to go to. Or I had to figure out a lot of this stuff myself.
Yeah, you did. Is she a big sister or a younger sister?
I call her my mother's daughter. Like, I don't have any relationship to her apart from she's my mother's daughter. Like,
I'm taking this part out. I don't want to I'm not putting this part in there. Yeah, continue. Yeah. Hey, you got one. Yeah.
That's your shush.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, so I didn't really have that. So after I went through what I went through, I thought like there's a lot of women going through things and there's not just like a space to community. And I think if you talk about things about women or where women gone wrong in dating, the narrative is, oh, she's so dumb, oh, she's so this, or I just felt like, all right, like, do you know what I mean? We all as women have suffered at the hands of a man in some way. And why are we being so brutal to each other? Like, I didn't like that energy that was around women trying to just anything that women went through at the end of the month, there's just such a lack of sympathy, well, not sympathy, empathy. And I just thought, no, because you can make a mistake as a woman. You can go through things when you're younger. You can go through things when you're older. You can be tricked. You can be bamboozled and you can make a mistake. But it's like, when you make a mistake, it's like everybody's on your head and you're just so dumb. And and I just didn't like that. Like, no. So I wanted a space where I could just say what I've learned. And if someone else has gone through things, we could be like, yeah, I see you. Like, keep going, sis. Like, do it like this next time. Like, don't worry. Like, what you want is out there. Just a bit of strategy. So I think slowly that started to build. And then I had like a couple of people reach out to me and they're like, oh, we can help you build your channel, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, let me take one phone call. And I had this lady called Alice. And she does social media building and stuff. So we had a phone call and she just gave me like a couple of gems. She was like, when you film in the same place, just so people can recognize your content. She was like, maybe be more descriptive in your titles, just little things, like nothing big. And literally when I implemented that, I went from like 6,000 to 100,000 in like...
Fuck me, I didn't even realize you had that many.
Yeah.
Oh, this is sick.
Yes. So like,
yeah, my engagement's gonna go up. Yeah.
tag me, please.
I'm tagging you on every single clip I put out, boy. Yeah, continue, yeah.
So it went up in like less than 2 months.
100,000? Yeah. Lord. Yeah, continue, yeah.
Listen, it's the same experience. Everything is the same experience at 6,000 versus 100,000. Like, don't let people... I feel like people make it seem like when you get to 100,000, like everything's going to check. No, it's the same. Like, you're still thing. But
yeah, let me get there first.
Yeah. No, that's what I used to say. Let me get there first, then I say it. But yeah, so that definitely helped me. I think like it's only in the last... So I was doing it, but I wasn't ever trying to make a career out of it or anything like that. I just wanted to just commune with my sisters and stuff. And I think maybe in the last like 2 months, I was like, the idea of romance radio hit me. So romance radio is basically the same concept as With Love Bets. It's just hosted by me. It's a show where we talk community more detailed about dating and relationship, but also pulling in my love of radio and my favorite genre, which is slow jams and R&B, because radio is something that I think that when I was young really like kept me sane when I was a child and depressed. I remember
Jenny Francis.
Yeah, Jenny Francis, that was my girl. And you know that she used to, I don't know if it was her show, but they used to bring on artists and play the whole album when they'd release an album.
Oh, I didn't know. Maybe I
they used to bring on, I remember doing that with Genuine's album and I'd record the songs, then pause in between, with the cassette player. So I'd have the whole album and music and radio specifically. Like, I think when you grow up in struggle, you don't really have time to figure out what you want to do, who you want to be. So I just went the corporate route. But as I've kind of started doing the With Love Bets, I realized I'm actually more of a creative person. And then I remember like when people would ask me, what did you want to be when you were younger? No one asked me when I was younger. So but when maybe I was in my early 20s, I always say like, I really wanted to be on radio. Like I really want to be a radio host. That was like my dream job. So I just thought, why don't I just create my own lane and just do my own radio show and talk about the topics I want to talk about. And it just reminds me like, I see my show as like Wendy Williams meets Jenny Francis.
Oh, yeah.
So we talk like really direct talk and stuff, but then we also, we get the grooves on, smooth grooves, the slow jam.
Bangers that you played, by the way.
Thank you.
And I was going to say something as well. What was I about to
Sorry,
say?
I've been yapping.
No, it's fine. No, I think you mentioned, what was it again? It was a good point. Oh, no, yeah, you said something on your show that I resonated with, innit? And I'm like, all right, this girl's kind of like me. You said certain times music has got you wanting to be in heartbreak just so you can relate to the song even more. Do you know how twisted that is? But I'm like that. Someone walking's crying. I'm like, right, I want to cry as well, innit? Yeah, so I'm like that as well.
Jasmine Sullivan, Last One, that song on her Hotels album.
Oh, that one hits me, though.
I wish I was a lesbian because I feel like she wrote that song for a woman. And I wish I'd had my heart broken so bad that when I sing the song, but I can't get all the way there.
Yeah.
I've never had that level.
Yeah, that's it.
Because even with my ex-husband, like, I wasn't really, it wasn't really, I was just in that situation because, I wanted to get married to make my parents happy. And when I was married, my parents were happy and I was golden child. And I'd never been golden child. So it was like, I liked being golden child.
How long were you married for?
1 year and 6 months.
Okay, cool. How long did you want to get, you want to get out of it immediately, basically?
Baby, so we literally had we got married at the end of February, went on honeymoon for a month. And then it was April by the time we got back. And then March, the first bank holiday in March, we had the first domestic violence incident. So I was like, maybe. And the sad thing is, and I always say, I didn't feel like I could leave. So I was waiting for him to hit me again, so I could be like, okay, I can leave now. Like, definitely, like, I didn't feel like, when I speak to people and I'm just like, yeah, I left, I didn't like it. I think I had a epiphany like, you can do that. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, I thought you had to have a reason, because everyone around me was just like, make it, not my friends, but my family, like, you can make it work. Like, marriage is hard. Da, da, da. And I remember his mum, I mean, I'm not going to speak her business, but she would always say to me, you know, you have to endure. You have to endure.
Well, our parents, their generation did, but they definitely endured. Some of the shit I hear in my family about what one uncle's done to one auntie, I'm like, Lord.
But this is the mindset that I was brought up in. So, like, I tried to endure for a little bit. Then I was like, this is dumb. Bye. Like, kind of thing. And then that obviously caused whatever rupture there was. But, you know, and also with my ex, I'm not going to lie, his mum used to come and stay with us for like 3 months at a time. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that. So that was a good reason as well. Because
but I also blame that generation as well for the kids as well. As in, our parents going through the struggles that they went through, I feel as though they passed on certain attributes to the children. So, for instance, like the mothers will be like in my family, my mum makes more money than my dad. My dad makes a bit of money, but yeah, my mum's a fucking boss, isn't it?
I think a lot of women, and that's why I find it funny when they're like, you must submit, because like, women are really out here carrying family.
Yeah, my mum submits, but it's one of those. She chat shit to my dad as well, though. But family, yeah, he has to hold that, innit? Yeah, what can you do? But
balance.
Yeah, and I feel as though, so when she speaks to not my mum, but like other people in those situations speak to their children, they're like, oh, you need to make sure you get a man with money, you know, boom, 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 boom. Because I'm in a situation where my man ain't got money, so. Yeah,
but I also think, and I where they're coming from, and I get the intentions, I also think that can be really dangerous. So I always encourage women not to chase men for money. Like, chase men who are entrepreneurial, who have morals, who have good character, who, if they have kids, look after their kids, who, you know, are go-getters. Because those kind of men will always make money. They're probably on a journey to making money. But if you just get a lot of men who have money, either they have been tossed and turned by these women when they were younger because they were dead things. So the rage they have in their heart towards women, they want to slam and bounce and let you. Like, a lot of men can't sleep with a woman more than once. There's certain men that their whole mind is so focused on slamming things that they can only slam a woman once, and that's it. So, and they have money because they know they have to have money because they understand the rules of the game. So you can meet someone like that, or you can meet someone who just feels entitled because you haven't got money, he's got money. What are you coming to say to this man? So it is better to get a man that respects himself and also respects you, and you guys can do this thing together. But then women get really annoyed because they're like, oh, you'll build a man and then he'll leave. It's like, no, you ignored all the like, there's so many things that you have to do in tandem. I'm not going to lie. With dating, women, we have to juggle so many balls at once. So, okay, yes, I can build with you, but I also have to keep an red eye in case you're showing me red flags. I also have to make sure you're being consistent. And there's so many things you have to keep an eye on. But I think women want to hear one thing and do that one thing and not realizing you still have to do other things at the same time.
But ultimately, when you think about it, it's all luck at the end of the day. As in, like, you can make the odds in your favor as much as possible, but you can't control what happened. Because I know for a fact, within the last, let's say 10 years or so, I've changed as a person, isn't it? So when you navigate marriage now, I think I am this way now, but God knows what I'm going to be like in 10 years. So it's like, you can have a successful marriage for now, but it's kind of knowing, I feel like you have to have a commitment to the actual, no, I'm not talking about your case, domestic violence and stuff, but certain times you have to, when you marry someone, you need to take into account that I love you so much right now, but I'm also going to try and love you in the future as well and work on it in the future within certain parameters, isn't it?
But I think the within certain parameters is so...
Damn, I'm loud, man. I can't even keep it down, man. I'm a loud guy.
That's me as well. Like, when I listen back to my playback, I'm like, oh. But yeah, no. I think it's the within certain parameters that women sometimes get carried away with. When we talk about within certain parameters, so this is your relationship, we talk about certain parameters should be like this. We're not dealing with like these mad fights. It's like, no, he's gone too far. Like that is enough of a red flag where you can be like, this don't make no sense. But women, because they hear things like, you know, within certain parameters and things like you got to make it work and relationships are hard. Me, myself being one of them, we can take it too far and not realize that, yes, people will change, but ultimately you're also supposed to be a good person, a person that's got morals, a person that respects me. And you might make a mistake, and I hate to use cheating because women get so mad, but let's say we're married for 15 years and then you end up slamming a ting. Okay, maybe then you could start to think, okay, maybe that's what you're talking about. It's like, that was deep and that was mad, but on a whole, are you a good person consistently? But I'm not talking about your man keeps cheating on you, or your man keeps violating you, or your man is disrespectful, he don't come home, or he treats you like trash, or you cry every day. Like, these are not things that are supposed to be in your relationship parameters. And I think women don't have enough boundaries of, a relationship is actually pretty much supposed to be quite steady. Yeah, you're going to have, jumps and dips, but it's supposed there's a region. And when it starts going too high or too low, you need to really assess what's going on there. And I think that's the key. Women really struggle to cut men off. Like, that's women's biggest problem, I'll tell you the truth. Women do not want to.
Well, someone they love her, especially.
Yeah. They do not want to. And they want to keep investing, but you're actually just wasting your time. And like, an example I always use with women is, let's say, first of all, you have to have patience today, because you don't know where your man is. So you don't know when you're going to meet him. So let's say the man for you, the love of your life, is number 15. Before you get to number 15, you're going to meet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you meet number 5 and he's not acting right and you're working on it, spending time, when are you going to get to 15? Like, it's going to take you so long to get there. And by the time you get there, some other woman might have nabbed him. So you have to be very focused on, is someone on TikTok said this and I love it, would my husband treat me like this? And if she feels like the answer is no, she's cutting that guy off. And that really helps, because I feel like, I feel this is one thing women don't want to hear. For the first 6 months to a year of your relationship, you're supposed to feel like you're walking on sunshine. You're supposed to be walking around, coffee.
Yeah, I need to have a honeymoon period.
Yeah. You should be feeling so happy that you're obnoxious, because you're supposed to feel so like, yes, like, me and this person are so in sync. Like, you just, as much as you love him and you love your situation, he should feel the same. And if you both feel like that, you're going to be able to carry that joy for such a long time before you argue, or even if you disagree. That's different from an argument. You're supposed to be able to carry that joy for such a long time. And I think a lot of women are in relationships where they haven't had that. It's a problem here, then another problem, then another problem. Aren't you tired? Like, and I'm not saying that from a place of judgment. I was there, but we have to learn and we have to know better.
Yeah, I keep telling people, like, especially like a lot of my female friends, like, and my male friends as well, like, honeymoon period is necessary. As in, why isn't it? How can you meet someone and there's not, at the start of it, there's not a period where you're just on each other and like each other to begin with? The
whole relationship's supposed to be a honeymoon period. You're supposed to, sorry, that's my man with it. I know it's him because he's got a special ringtone. But you're supposed to have a whole relationship where it is always honeymoon period. You might just have an argument interruption. So, you might have 2-3 days where you've had an argument, you've de-escalated the argument, but you're still both a bit grumpy. But after you've gone over that, it's supposed to go right back to being in honeymoon period. Like, and as someone who's living that, I see how it's, you're not supposed to live in an argument vibe. Your normal standard vibe should be, you're
peace,
my person. Yeah, and you're happy to see that person. That's your friend, your partner, look, this is going on, what should I think? Like, I remember, like, even just before I came on this live, I had TikTok remove me from the creator program I feel like my ex works at TikTok because the amount of strikes and things I get for doing nothing. Hey, if it's you, my bad. Like, it's over now, let go.
That's crazy.
No. I have to do these strikes because do you know what he did when we got divorced? I'm so sorry, but now I have to out him. The first thing he did was he got a letter, invite. Do you remember this? He typed an email, like a 5-page letter, I'm writing you a form, and sent it to every single one of our wedding invitees. Wow. Titled Nothing But the Truth, full of lies. Saying, listen, this, why we...
Yo, man.
Sent it to like 300 people.
Yo, you've been through it, you know.
I ignored that. Oh, wait. Then a couple months later, when he saw he wasn't getting a reaction, bear in mind, he filed for divorce. So, because we were going back and forth, he was begging me. I was like, so when I left, I didn't speak to him for 3 months. Like, he could only text me. I was not answering. So, and then after that one time, we had a holiday booked. He wanted to come. I didn't let him come. So after that, that's when he sent the first email, filed for divorce. Because usually I would be the one being like, let's sort it out. Da, da, da. So I think he realized that wasn't happening. So he was trying to trigger it. But I got the divorce paper, like, cool. Because me and my best friend had just been on holiday and had filled out. He did his on the internet. How cheap. Like, come on, traditionally. Right on paper. So I was like, cool, fine. So he sent out that email. I didn't say anything. A couple of months later, he wrote another thing about narcissism and my...
What, to send it to the mailing list?
So it said narcissism, and it was about me and my family. So he was also talking about my parents in there, saying really bad things about my parents because they had been trying to help him get back together, but I had to strike them one time and be like, this man is wicked, like, stop doing this. So that's when we kind of felt it, but they stopped. So he saw that the help had stopped. sent it to their church, all their pastors in their church.
Your parents' church?
Yeah.
Lord.
Saying, share this with the congregation. Yeah, right. And we go to a big church.
What church, sorry? Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Which one? Oh, wow. That's a big as well, boy.
So send it to every single person, to the pastor.
I'm going to tell people, I know the girl don't share them.
Well, I don't think they shared it, so I don't think anyone knows. But he did that. Like he would, and then after we sold our house, he refused to let the sale go through. We had to take him to court. Then when we were in front of the judge, like 7 months later, he was like, "Oh yeah, but I thought we were going to get back together." The judge was like, like to the point where he even had to pay me some damages for time wasting, basically, like all of that. Like he did another thing where he sent me a solicitor letter like a couple of days before my birthday saying I owe him this much money. I obviously didn't owe him. We're going to go to court. I thought, you know what? Bam, just transfer the money to him. Like, leave me alone.
You send him the money?
I ain't got time. Like, yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, we are.
Hey, you owe me about 5,000.
Take the money, leave me alone. Because I just thought it's going to keep going unless I make it clear, like, I don't care. Like, whatever you want, you can have it. Leave me alone.
Nah, but if what you're saying is, bear man, we haven't got the guy on here to say his side story. But if what you're saying is correct, that is, he's done some violating stuff, boy.
Oh, no. Do you remember? So I obviously got a restraining order for him to come out of the house. And this is the last thing I'll say about him, because shout out him wherever he is. But I was like, don't worry, I'll pay the mortgage because you don't live here. And I thought, do you know what I mean? Why am I making him pay a mortgage for a house he's not allowed to live in? So as I'm paying the mortgage, remember the house is now sold. So I've changed all the bills to my name because I thought when I leave, then it's not going to do anything to his
Wait, you sold the house?
But I was still in it because cool. Period. But then he blocked the sale. So we still had the offer, but we couldn't sell it because both our names were on the mortgage. So I changed all the bills to my name so that when I move out, it's just easy, smooth. The police showed up on my door for fraud because I put the bills in my name. So I don't feel bad about taking shots at him. Like, you do yours, I let you do yours. When I do mine, I'm going to do mine with grace, but I'm going to do it smoother and I'm going to do it better. So you're going to hold all.
And wait, how long ago was this? When did this?
This was all during the divorce.
Oh, okay. So the beef has ended now.
Oh, long time. I've never seen him, spoke to him again. This is years. It's just, part of my story. So.
Yeah. Wait, has anybody in life disliked you that much?
No, I don't think so.
Fuck it, man.
That's my biggest off. Well,
now, I think you mentioned that you've done therapy before, isn't it? Yeah,
I do. I've done years of therapy.
Oh, do you still do it now?
Not at this very moment, but I want to. I didn't like my therapist. I used. I've had a few therapists.
BetterHelp.
Yeah, BetterHelp, Black Minds Matter. My own therapist. I've reached out to. Yeah, like I've done a lot of. I feel like therapy is very important. I think it's very. I don't want to be a person that makes excuses for myself in life. And I feel like, don't get me wrong, even in my last marriage, I feel like there's definitely areas that I could have been kind of improved on. It's hard because when you're dealing with someone who's just that way, it's hard to think. But definitely with my current husband, there's a lot of stuff that I try to work on. Like I very much look at working on myself and improving myself as my contribution to our relationship. And, we try to do the thing of, if I work on being the best me and making him happy and he does the same, then we're both surely going to be happy, right? And, that really works for us. But a lot of that comes with actually looking at yourself and being able to check yourself and be like, I have this trauma from this and this makes me act like this. I react to things like this because of this. And you can't just say, I think a lot of people try to say, because, that's what I went through. I don't think that's good enough. I think, that might be how you went through it. If people are telling you there's a part of your personality that they don't like or that rubs them the wrong way, you should try to work on it. You should constantly be trying to improve as a person and be a better person. And not to say like, I'm now the best person, I'm above reproach, but I'm someone who constantly works on trying to be a better person. And if someone tells me, I don't really like this about you, I will really sit and think about it. And
well, does it matter? Well, sometimes it kind of has to matter who the person is, isn't it?
I don't really have people around me that I don't like.
Okay, fair, isn't it?
I'm an adult.
It's like some random person. You should fuck you, man. You.
The people around me are very positive, kind people that I respect. So if someone I respect says to me, I don't get it enough, or maybe sometimes I'll have an interaction with them and react in my first thought, and then maybe I'll look back on it and be like, could have done this instead, or I could have said this, or I don't really like how I reacted. Even though maybe I don't feel like I was in the wrong, but that doesn't change the way I reacted, and I could have reacted better. So I definitely try to work on myself because I'm trying to have the best life filled with the most positivity, filled with like blessings and love. And I don't think you can do that if you have a negative mindset or victim mentality where it's everybody else's fault but yours. No. Yes, things have happened to you, but also, sometimes things happen because of you, because you don't do anything to change or be better or to grow. And I definitely want to look at my life at the end and be like, yeah, you did that. Like, you did that.
Now, you said you mentioned that you're a soft life, babe.
Yeah.
What does soft life actually entail? Like, what does that look like to you?
It's so funny because I'm like a part-time soft life babe because I'm also a wife.
I mean, you kind of have to be in it. Like,
yeah, so
can't be soft life 24/7, isn't it?
I am a labourer in terms of like being a wife, being a stepmom. Like I grew up in an African household, so I'm very domesticated. Like I cook, I clean, I look after the kids when we have that. Not to say he doesn't, but like I very much try to.
Do they like you?
They love me.
Okay.
Like, I love them. Like it's funny because I was we took a long time to meet. So we spoke for like 2 years before, then we introduced me on the phone. Then after, another probably 6 months, then we introduced in person. So we definitely did it very slowly.
And you're married now?
Yes.
Wow, man. So, wait, you don't have to get married, boy, innit? Like,
that's what I'm with my J-Lo steez. Play with me if you want to.
Wait, now, because I know how African parents stay. Yeah. Was there an issue with them attending your second wedding?
I did a registry.
Oh, okay. Did they come?
No.
Okay, because you know how they stay, as in...
Well, they weren't invited, not in a horrible way.
Not in a horrible way.
Nobody was invited, so...
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. But then again, my older brother got married and my dad wasn't invited to that wedding, but it wasn't even beef.
Yeah.
Like, literally, my brothers didn't go. I was me, my mum, and my auntie were the only ones that came.
Yeah, so it was kind of like that. Like, it was just a little elopement kind of thing. And then... I've done a big wedding. I've done all that noise. I don't need that. Like I just... Did
you need that one? Did you reckon you need to get that out of your system?
I didn't even want that one. So I remember when I first got engaged, I booked a registry. Then I remember we had a whole family meeting because they're like, oh, you're stressing your mum out. Your mum had to go to hospital. So I said, if you lot want a big wedding, like you lot can do it. So they did it, and so they paid for it and stuff. So it wasn't. I never.
Wait, did she actually go hospital?
I don't know. You know, Africa's
so dramatic, isn't it? Yeah.
I think the battery's gone.
Well, that's calm, innit? I'm ending soon anyway.
Well, on the main camera.
On the main one. Yeah. On the main one. Yeah, that's calm. I'll just come. I'll just end it. I'll just do back to back on this one. What was talking about? Oh yeah. African.
Yeah, so I looked.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Has he been married previously as well?
Yes.
Okay, you reckon that actually helps the dynamics?
100%. Because we both know...
You cut all that nonsense and the noise out of the way, innit?
And we all also know what, where... First of all, it helped in finding each other because we very much knew what we wanted in a partner. We very much knew how we wanted that person to behave, respond, whatever. So we were attracted to each other from that. But we also worked very hard on our marriage and on our partnership because we understand that how it feels to be unhappy in a marriage. And I don't want to be unhappy in a marriage. I know he doesn't want to be. So I very much work hard to be a good wife. He very much works hard to be a good husband. And I think that really, really helps our dynamic. And
what do you do with the first ring?
It's in my house.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much you want for it?
One time I did a comparison video on my old ring versus my new.
Nah, you're taking the piss. But the second one's better than the first one, though, isn't it? You're taking the piss. Yeah. He's hitting the wall like, yeah, but they didn't have to pay for a wedding, though, innit? Nah, you're taking the piss. You're taking the piss.
One thing about me, I'm not even.
Is that still up there?
No, I think I put it in private only, so only I can see it.
I don't know. To be fair, he can't hold that one, innit? For sending a letter to the judge.
He can't hold anything. I don't. But also, I don't wish anything on. Do you know who I feel bad for? The next woman he's with. I feel bad for.
Yo, these are some hurtful things you're saying.
No.
What do you mean not in a horrible way?
It's not. I don't mean it in a horrible way. I mean it in a way of, I know what I went through in that relationship and I would hate for another woman to go through that. So, I'm sure he's told her all sorts of lies and stuff and, that's fine. But I hope, if she's watching this or I don't know if she knows who I am, but like, I hope you're okay. Like genuinely from the bottom of my heart, like it's not funny, no, for real, because I know like that was a very miserable, scary time in my life. And I do date in a relationship. It hurts me to think about somebody else inheriting what I ran away from. That's a horrible thing to inherit. So, you never know, lightning thunder, he might have had a 360 personality change. And I hope so. So because as much as, he has these issues, there's still like a little boy in there. Like I see, and I think that's why I was able to be in a relationship for so long. I saw the little boy in him and I had a lot of empathy and care, but a monster is still a monster, regardless of what the origins are. And No, I'm being serious now because there are a lot of women that go through, and I really do want to talk. Like, it's not, you can't heal someone who doesn't want to heal themselves. Like,
That's right.
Genuinely, like, you can't, there's nothing you can do, and you can never be enough to heal the trauma that somebody else has been through. And, you know, we're all hee ha ha in there. It's a big thing to be living through that, where somebody is hurting you physically, mentally, emotionally, and you are just trying to help them and love. And not, you don't have to be perfect. And I think there has to be, I remember when I first found out, people would be like, oh, what did you do? And there's no perfect victim. You don't have to be a perfect victim. If you are being hurt, that's enough. And that's enough to get up, get your stuff and leave. And you don't have to justify it to anyone. You don't have to have a reason why. The only person you have to look in the mirror is yourself. And so, yeah, it's all fun and games. And in my situation, because I'm so healed and recovered from it, I can laugh about it. But I understand that there are women who are going through this real world pain today. And it's a lot. And I just, like, I see them. I see you. I don't know where the camera is, but I see you. Like, you are strong enough to do it. Don't question yourself. Yes, you love this person, but you have to love yourself first, and you have to care for yourself and protect yourself. So if you're in a situation, like, if I could get down on my knees, I would, like, please prioritize yourself. Please prioritize your life. And I know that it's scary, and I know it's overwhelming, and you're thinking, oh, what if he finds someone else and treats her better? How am I going to survive finances, money, life? It will all come right. But it will come right because you put all of that love and faith and trust into yourself instead of someone who is causing you harm. So yes, I know we've had the jokey side of it, but I really do want to address that because that's a big thing and a deep thing to go through. And I don't think we talk about it enough with care for the woman. I always just see, oh, why didn't she just leave? Or why didn't she leave? It's not easy like that to just leave.
I can imagine.
Separate your whole life from somebody to...
And your family pressures as well.
Yeah, especially when it can cause ruptures in your family, which it did to me. So many things, so much. So it takes such a mental toll on you. And often when you're in that situation, you're so beaten down, even to get the strength to leave is a lot. So yeah, laugh and joke, but it's not a laughing matter. It's not a joking matter. It's real. And that's why I do refer to it often. And not because I want to refer to my ex specifically, like, God bless him, wherever he is, whatever he's doing, cool, fine. But to any woman that is on the other side of that with him or another man, you don't have to go through that. You are more than that. You have so much more to offer in this life than that. And just believe in yourself. And if you don't have enough strength to believe in yourself, just look at me. Like, I'm on the other side of it. And if anything, I wish I did it sooner. Like, and it was a traumatic process. It's going to be hard to get through. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to change so much of your life, but you will get there and you will have a beautiful life.
Amen, man.
Amen.
I feel like that's a beautiful place to end it. Lovely having you on.
Oh, it was amazing.
And went round in circles and stuff, isn't it? But that's the beauty of, like, not having, like, any subject matter. And just
don't be taking out my shade. I said what I said.
Yeah, hey, listen,
my whole chest.
Some of the things I'm going to leave out because, well, I'll put it to you to leave out, innit?
Anything to leave out?
I'm going to send it to you anyway, innit? And then we'll check. But you've been a lovely guest, man. It's been a vibe, man. Lovely coming on.
Give me a hug. Thank you, love. Okay.
Sweet.
Love that.
Help yourself. You can take all of this shit with you as well, man.
Old lady snacks. That's nice to meet you.
Oh, that was sick.
Thank you.
Tell you what's changed right now. In a different field, different lane right now. Now I'm in the mud, switching lanes right now. Passive income getting paid right now. Used to roll around with sinners, bulldozers and killers. Now we focused on figures, 3-course meals for dinners, 5-star suites and villas. Now the swag hit different. Cause the bag is different.
This can't come out.
The tab is